Everyone has different reasons for moving to a new country, a new place, but the emotional upheaval of the immigration process can take a toll on a person's mental health. Canada is home to so many newcomers, with more than 480,000 people immigrating to Canada in 2024. Mental health advocate and founder of the nonprofit Reach Out Together, Aanchal Vash, has seen the mental health implications of immigration firsthand. She joins me this morning with more on her experience and what that can look like for others. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So how can factors like employment and immigration status contribute to mental health struggles?
There are a lot of immigrants that come here who are skilled workers, and when they come here, there's almost like a lack of or invalidation of the credentials. So they're starting all over from scratch. That adds to poor mental health right from the get-go. And a lot of times when immigrants come here, there is systemic barriers that they face as well, which again contributes to them not feeling very good. There is economic pressures, for example, the thought that they have to financially support either themselves or they have to financially support their parents back or their families back home. That adds to a lot of mental health challenges right from the beginning.
I can imagine when you start something, you want to stick to it. You want to stay. And when you move to a new country, the pressure to stay, whether it is coming from people around you, whether it's coming from yourself, all adds to everything you just described.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does that play into the pressures that you can feel as a person who's just come to a new country, the pressure to stay?
So in my case, I can speak for myself. I came here as an international student, knowing that, my twin brother and I, when we moved here, our parents paid international tuition fee. So that automatically had added and contributed so much stress that, we have to do well here and we have to make our parents proud. And then upon graduation, it's like right away you have to, get a job, figure out different resources to help yourself. And so coming to a new country, not having anybody, not knowing what supports exist, being now in a new culture, new environment altogether, you're literally starting from scratch. And so if you don't have those essential life skills to cope with the differences, with the adversity that comes, it becomes very hard.
You spoke about your brother. You moved here together. Your brother died by suicide when you moved here. You came to Canada with him, as you said, as international students. Take me through those first few months. What were those like for the two of you coming to Canada?
It was very different for the both of us in our experience. We came here, Tushar, my twin, he absolutely loved the freedom because this is his first time being away from family. And so he chose a very different path. He was always hanging out with people, right off the bat exploring what the culture, what the country has to offer. Whereas in my case, I was a bit more reserved in the sense like, I had this thought that, again, my parents have spent so much money for us to be here. And so we just chose very different paths to how we both were getting aligned with this new culture. And I guess that led to different outcomes for the both of us.
So if someone's listening to this conversation right now and thinking, what can I do? How can I help support someone who has come to this country, who's brand new to Canada? What would you say?
There are a lot of resources available, a lot of free resources and cost-effective resources available, but often we're not aware of them. I don't think there's lack of resources. I think that maybe there's lack of awareness and community support. So if you're an immigrant that's new to the country, I highly recommend when you're pursuing professional supports, look for supports that are culturally aligned. When you find therapists, counselors that understand your cultural background, healing gets easier. You don't have to use more words to explain yourself and your background, right? And I always say this is prevention is better. Early intervention saves you time, resources, and the willpower to actually do something about it. And by that, what I mean is a lot of times people wait for crisis situation to occur. But the more time you spend in that feeling of discomfort and poor mental health, the harder it becomes to recover and the harder it even becomes to even ask for help when that situation arises. And as friends and as a community, I highly recommend reaching out to people that you know are new to the country. Offer real support. By that, what I mean is ask them, hey, do you need any help with me reviewing your resume? Do you need a reference to something? Do you need help finding a local hospital? You know, just as a community, show that you care. Right? Like truly try to connect with people that are new to the country and see how you can truly help your neighbors. And lastly, I would say check in, and check in. How it's not hard to send someone a message and be like, thinking about you, hope you're doing well. As often as you can, and not expecting a response in return, right? Check in and relentlessly be there for your community. That's how we thrive, and that's how we heal.
I love that. Those are great words, and I so appreciate the call out that you just made. Thank you for that. Tomorrow marks 9 years since Tushar's passing, your brother. Reach Out Together will be holding its 9th annual World Reach Out Together Day event, celebrating mental health advocates right across Canada. Founder of Reach Out Together, Aanchal Vash, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Kelsey.
We'll be right back.